The movie that I chose is the psychological horror film called The Black Phone. I chose this movie because I don't watch a lot of movies, and the movies that I do watch are not S tier, but this one to me is. Um, First question is about the main argument, and the main argument is probably about childhood trauma and still being able to be resilient with it, like turning the childhood trauma into strength and resilience. The roles of each character, we have four major characters. That would be Finney, the protagonist. He's the shy kid who gets bullied at school, but then he learns to use his voice and speak up, and he gains his strength. Second character would be Gwen. She is his sister. She represents loyalty, and she has a great intuition. There's also their dad, who's more of a background character, but still important to the story because he is who brings that generational trauma in, which goes into the main argument of the story. And lastly, the antagonist is the grabber. He represents control and manipulation. Yes. A message that I got from it is that it's possible to be scared and feel trapped in the corner and feel small, but still be able to persevere / win, or in this case, survive. This movie was directed by Scott Derrickson, and it was his idea to make it because it is inspired by his childhood. Obviously, I don't think he got kidnapped, but it's based on generational trauma. And then the grabber just adds on to the story. As for the question if it's art for the sake of art, you could look at it in two different perspectives. The first perspective is that it's not, and it's art because it needs to relay a message, since Derrickson wanted to share his story, sort of, to the world. Another way that you can look at it, because it's all subjective, I think is the word, is that it's art just because it's beautiful, because this was not a movie that had to be made. There was no context at the time. Maybe there was some kidnappings and maybe it was spreading awareness. I didn't live through that era where I wasn't conscious. So it was most likely just the world would be the same with or without the movie, and that to me screams just art for the sake of entertainment, or art or beauty, or however you want to say it. I did love this movie a lot because it made me feel lots of raw emotion. I felt nervous. I felt empathy towards Finney. I didn't want anybody to win or lose or anything. I just wanted the story to keep making me feel the way I felt. I don't really know how to describe it. Honestly, just watch it for yourself. I do love psychological things, so that's probably why it was nice analyzing that movie towards the end. I'm sorry. Also, that even though it's categorized as a horror movie, it's not too scary, which it would be a great movie to start with. I don't think horror as a genre should be avoided, and that this is coming from somebody who used to avoid horror as a genre in total and as a whole, and I haven't watched my first horror movie since like 2 years ago, but it's such a deeper, people think, oh, horror, just jump scares, The Conjuring, Annabelle, but it's so much deeper than that, so it's definitely a good movie to start with, The Black Phone, to start if you want to start getting into horror, just because it's not too scary and it's psychological. I would definitely recommend this film. I probably stated all my reasons earlier, but it's really good. You gotta see it for yourself. And the director, Scott Derrickson, he was very on point with how his message got relayed, and that was how I was able to pick up on it, because I'm not too deep of a thinker, I don't, compared to some really good deep thinkers, but if I was able to pick up on it, I feel that it was just very blatant, but not in a boring way. The message got across. Anyway, my name is Sophia Meola, and this was my video reflection review on the Black Phone. Thank you.